I'm Kritika Berawala. I am a freelance writer researcher, and today I have with me Abhijit and Priyanka. Abhijit, who goes by the moniker Eternal Happiness, and he has been documenting a very special tribe, one of the smallest tribes in the world, the Totos, and they live in a very small village called Totopara in West Bengal. So that's Abhijit, and with him we have Priyanka, his wife, partner, backbone, support, and a lot he'll tell us in the process of the interview. So it's going to be a very candid, casual chat about your journey so far and the process and the tribe. I think we'll start with Abhijit and then I'll come to you, Priyanka. If you can tell me something about yourself, your personal background and professional as well, and what led you. So, you're a photojournalist and a photographer. So, what led you to camera?
She led me to the camera in the sense of professionally.
Okay.
Do you want to say anything?
No, you continue.
Okay. A very traditionally strict, culturally very strict background I've been brought up in, wherein I have 90% of my cousins engineers, and I'm only the black sheep in the family, being having a master's in sociology. After dropping out in engineering, to be very specific, and I found myself basically, over a period of time. I would rather call myself as a documentary photographer and a humanitarian photographer. The reason being, after I did my master's in sociology, I was in NGOs for about 7 years. So it was more of the application-based work that I did absolutely on ground, including in the rebel areas of my home state with Red Cross. I was managing a health and communications project for them. At the front lines, of course. And taking that forward, I had to photo document the entire work in the rebel areas that I was coordinating, I was managing. So that led me to the next step of application of sociology. I would call it visual sociology. And that's how I started being a documentary and a humanitarian photographer. In those good old 90s, early 90s days, you literally had to beg for a camera to your mom or to your dad, like even to handle it. And there was absolutely no support, even when I was working and everything at all. And she knew about it, that I had no support for photography of any kind from anywhere in the family. And one day she just comes up to me and says, just chuck everything, get into photography. And I was shocked. Like, are you serious? She said, I'll just handle everything. You just focus on your dream, your passion.
Yeah, because at that time, I think you were getting some assignments from NGOs in which he was working at that point of time. And then he did not have the professional kit. And he was doing photography along with his assigned work. So it was like, it was not part of his work, but still he was doing it because he likes it and everything. So then I thought, since you like it so much and there is a scope of work, then why not just do it full time?
But how long have you two known each other?
She's still not sure. Look at that.
13 years.
It's 14 years.
Okay, 14 years.
And what is your professional background, Priyanka?
So I am, so what his 90% of cousins are. So I'm an engineer. So by profession, I'm an IT engineer. I work in IT company, and through that company and through that work only we have shifted to Oslo.
So, okay, before you shifted to Oslo, I mean, a lot of your time was dedicated to documenting Totos. So just if you could just go back and if you could tell us, how did you first hear about the tribe in general, and when was the first time you heard about them?
It was right after our marriage. within 3 months of our marriage, I was posted in Bangalore, managing another project for 3 different districts, rural districts of Karnataka. And while I was reading a lot of articles, I came to know that there is this tribe called Toto, whose woman graduate, Rita Toto, she graduated in 2010 and 11. And that was in 2013 that I read the news. And I got very intrigued. Why is the first woman graduate of a specific tribe in 2010? And that made me go back, learn more about the tribe. And I found that at that point of time in 2013, there were about 1,500 odd, like 1,550 or something. Not that they are a lot today, but they are only 1,600 now. And what I had was a camera in hand, sponsored by her. And I told her that such and such is the case, and how do we go about it? And that's where she said, just leave everything and let's do this. So 2013, we researched, and somehow within YouTube, we found a number which connected me to Vinod Toto, who is managing one of the government-sponsored hotels or homestays in Totopara. I contacted him, and the journey began in May 2014. And right now, we are in May 2021, almost finishing the project, the book.
Did you have any apprehensions when he told you that, this is a project, and we didn't know the timelines or how long it would stretch, So any kind of apprehensions there?
No, when he told me, I think in 2013, at that time he was in Bangalore, and I think we had this discussion over the call. It was not even in person. No, there were no initial apprehensions because, as he said, that he has already worked in the rebel areas in our home state. So I already had that experience that he used to go, and then there was no contact for at a stretch 3 days or 4 days. So I was like kind of used to it.
And that time we were dating, by the way.
Yeah, that time we were dating. It was almost a decade ago. So there were no, I don't think so.
So you are allowing me to go to Palestine now?
Yeah, you can go anywhere you want to
go. So it was both of you who went on this trip, correct? Priyanka, you accompanied him as well on the first trip?
No, not on the first trip, but in 2015, when he went for his second trip, at that time I joined him. So he actually went for a month in 2015, right?
Yeah.
And then I joined in last 3 or 4 days. So then we celebrated his birthday and our anniversary in Totopara. Yes.
So we'll come to the second trip a little later. Tell me, you went there in May 2014. The first time you traveled there. What was the journey like, and what were the first impressions when you reached that village?
Journey was amazing. Being into NGO work and traveling to the most difficult places I could have already, this journey didn't feel difficult. I felt home. I changed 2 trains, a bus, and I sat. My first journey to Totopara from Madari Hard was on the top of the jeep with my camera bag and all the luggage. Oh, wow. And that's how people still travel there. I mean, at least till my last visit in 2017, yes.
And what were your impressions when you reached there? So,
I had already researched a little bit whatever was there, existing secondary research, articles, newspapers, government records, and everything. So I knew this wasn't. This definitely wasn't a 4-day job or a 1-month job or a 2-month job. I knew very sure about it. But you always have to put that step forward to connect with people, to connect with the tribe, and tell them your intentions. That's the first important thing. As a sociologist, it comes very naturally to me that I'm being very sensitive to people. I respect cultures, boundaries, and everything. So my first 4-day visit was just to connect, tell them why am I here for, and what am I going to do with the photographs. So that I kept it till the end of the project. Like I took pictures and I have sent them back.
उनको अभी दे रहा हूँ तो उनका
बहुत खुश हो जाते
नजरिया।
हैं। हाँ, जब भैया जब पिछले साल की फोटो देने गए थे हम लोग, तो कुछ ओल्ड वुमेन कोई भी बहुत खुश हो जाते हैं, खुद की पिक्चर देख के बहुत खुश हो जाते हैं। वो लोग स्माइल करने लगते हैं, बार बार वाह इतना अच्छा आया फोटो, ऐसे बोलते हैं। तो जब वो किताब आएंगे सेम वही होगा हम लोग का रिएक्शन, बहुत अच्छा आया पिक्चर।
Those 4 days were really crucial for me to connect with them, and set a stone for the book.